Lawrence. Jennifer Lawrence. Jennifer Lawrence. Where's Peter Lawrence? Jennifer Lawrence. Jennifer Lawrence. Jennifer Lawrence. Where's Peter? Jennifer Lawrence. Jennifer Lawrence. Jennifer Lawrence. Jennifer Lawrence. Where's Peter? Boom. Yeah.
Well, welcome everybody to Yogo and Frisky's Interdimensional Rift. I'm your host, Yoko, and this is my brother from another mother, MC Metrocod Frisky. We're here this day, this hour, this minute to discuss the most epic movies of the summer, the X-Men franchise.
Woo! That one guy in the audience. Yeah.
The
Are you guys excited for Dark Phoenix? Nobody.
crickets.
Well, it doesn't matter because this today is the Dark Phoenix special edition of the Yoko and Frisky Dimensional Rift. And today we have some great fan fiction for all you guys and girls and trans and LGBTQ pluses out there.
Yeah, dog. And be prepared for the cringe. Or be prepared for something amazing. You don't know.
Well, let's just kick it off. Let's just get into it. Like, come on, hit us with one.
All right. So during my travels in the world of fanfiction, I have discovered that apparently there are a lot. Well, let's put it this way. People like to ship Mystique with Storm. Yeah, that's a thing.
Saucy.
Yeah, I found one recently by Eileen, if I can read that right. I don't know if it's Eileen, I don't know. Pizza Pup 497069.
Right.
A lot of X-Men fan fiction, just to give everyone a history before we start, is based off of It Still Seems X-Men Evolution.
Awesome. X-Men Evolution was dope.
It was. I felt like it was a cartoon way ahead of its time.
It was like X-Men meets Degrassi.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah. So this fan fiction here, it says, AU first season, but Rogue never left the Brotherhood. What happens when Mystique finds out she's pregnant? The conclusion. The conclusion up now. I think you'll like it.
Oh my lord. Let's hear this mess.
So the chapters is your what? Mommy Mystique. Disclaimer, all characters belong to Marvel Comics and Kids WB.
That's very important.
Do
not steal.
It really is. This is just a bit of weirdness that crept into my mind, set in its own universe, meaning it doesn't connect with my other stories the way some of mine do slightly. AU season 1. And it's short, so I mean, I'm not going to read all 22 chapters, but we're just going to dive right in.
Yeah. I'm ready.
He had his head in her lap again. Mystique sighed and put her work aside and shoved Toad away. He snuggled back up to her again. Get off me, she growled and pushed him away again. Again, he came back. I'm not a pillow, she said, attempting to remove him again. Actually, Pietro said, you have been talking on pillow-like proportions lately. Wait. Okay. All right. I'm just reading it. Mystique glared at him. I have not. Yeah, you have. You've been eating way more than Fred. I have not. And with swimsuit season coming up, Gotta cut back on those carbs. He nudged her flabby stomach. To his great surprise, it nudged back. What the? What
Whoa.
the? Well, oh my gosh. Pietro and Mystique both cried out at the same time and then looked at each other. What was that? The silver-haired speedster asked. Beats me, beats me, said Toad. That's never happened before, Mystique gasped. Her mind was whirling. No, it couldn't be. Toad gave her a puzzling look. Maybe you should go to the doctor or something. Why? She asked. I'm not sick. Not for that, man. Not for that. Man. For... ... None of them could even say it out loud. It was such a bizarre concept. It boggled their minds. Mystique pushed Toad off her lap and stood up. I'm going to bed, she said. I'll see about making a doctor's appointment in the morning. Oh my gosh. I'm like not even halfway done with this and I'm already bored.
I want to know who knocked up Mystique. That's the only question I have.
Okay. So apparently Toad follows her to the room and he's like, so who has to give up their room? And Mystique shook her head. I'm not thinking that far ahead yet. Just leave me alone for now, okay? She's frumpy and bumpy and frowny and whatever. And then she goes, perhaps I should contact Xavier, Mystique said. Whoa.
Uh-oh.
On the one hand, it would save her having to explain her situation. On the other, well, things were complicated enough, not to mention the fact that her son was living there. Finally, she picked up the phone. Awkwardness aside, there was no one else she could trust with this thing. She just have to swear him to secrecy, that's all. Xavier was surprised, to say the least, by Mystique's request. He understood the need for secrecy, after all. Her personal life was her business, but felt a morbid curiosity all the same. He arranged for her to come during school hours, so there's no less chance of children finding out. Wait, what?
Whoa. The Xavier's wheelchair has hydraulics confirmed.
Oh my gosh. They met in the Institute's sick bay. Don't ask me how this happened, Mystique warned him. Don't tell me I should have been more careful. And don't ask who the father is. Easy, Mystique, Xavier
He's
said.
psychic. He already knows. He's psychic, dumbass.
You know, if this fanfic, okay, I gotta know. I'm sorry. She was clearly in an agitated, emotional state. Just tell me when you first noticed you were pregnant. I guess that would have to be about a month ago. Where are you going with this? I want to check your temperature. What? I mean,
Oh,
you're right. He's psychic. We could eliminate so much of this.
wow.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe Mystique like morphed into someone Charles was attracted to, like Beast, and that's how it happened.
Oh my god. So I'm just confused because they're saying that her son was already in the school, right?
Who's her son?
Kurt Wagner. It says here.
Oh yeah, Nightcrawler.
Yeah, Kurt Wagner is her son, but it was saying that her son was already at the school in the fan fiction, and then she's like, I'm skimming ahead, and I shouldn't because my brain.
Spoilers.
I know, right? She's saying one moment Xavier wheeled over to the portable ultrasound scanner.
Oh my god, the portable ultrasound. Just use Cerebro. Just use Cerebro to find out everything you need to know.
You're like the guy in the crowd. Boo! Use Cerebro. It's better. So here, look, look, look. And then it says, at the moment, Kurt came home sick from school. Mother. She looked up at him. Oh no, Kurt, what are you doing here? I could ask you the same thing. Aren't you supposed to be in school? The nurse sent me home. She said I had my temperature. I'm doing this bad on purpose.
That's beautiful.
A temperature? This was the last thing Mystique needed. But I don't feel sick. Achoo! Xavier
Why does he sound Wakandan?
Xavier winced, and so did Mystique. You were saying? She questioned Kurt. It's nothing, just a cold. Why are you here?
No, he sounds like Tommy Wiseau.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm gonna make it even better. She goes, I'm pregnant. Kurt couldn't quite believe his ears. You're what? Pregnant. The word doesn't sound any better the second time. His head was spinning. Mystique with a baby? The idea boggled his mind, to say nothing of how Rogue would react. How? Why? Who? Precisely the question she was hoping he would ask. I really don't want to talk about it right now. And besides, you're not really up to a long conversation. You just lie down here and we'll talk later. But mother, achoo!
Wow.
She gave him her stern, I'm the mother look. You get in that bed right now. I'll come back and check on you later this afternoon. Where are you going? Home. I have things to do, rooms to clean out. I wonder if I can move Toad into Rogue's old room so the baby can have his? We haven't finished your examinations yet, Xavier said. I'll be back. Don't lift anything or move anything heavy. Wait, now the accent's gone. It's so weird. It's supposed to be Kurt. Don't lift anything heavy or move anything heavy. Kurt, I just don't want you to hurt yourself. I'll be all right, really, Mystique insisted. She drove herself home and found that Kurt wasn't the only one who'd been sent home from school that day.
Oh my.
That was the most painful fan fiction I've read today.
See, this is how you know it's a fan fiction, because in the X-Men movies, Mystique is portrayed by the beautiful, lovely actress Jennifer Lawrence, and her body could never get pregnant because it's just, look at that body. It's pure perfection.
Oh my gosh, what do I imagine? Like a semi-realistic picture of her face over a SpongeBob body?
Jennifer Lawrence is a treasure, and I think about her every time I put on my Reeboks because she is such a treasure. And
Oh my god. Your favorite Kool-Aid jammer.
Blue
All right.
raspberry. All right, it's my turn.
Just like Mystique.
All right, so I'm looking at a fan fiction right here called X-Men Origins Wolverine. Everybody's favorite X-Men movie. You know, the one with Deadpool. It's like his mouth is sewn shut, and then you got those ugly CGI claws, and then you have Gambit, who shows up for like 5 minutes and then leaves.
You mean that was Gambit?
Yeah. Oh, you probably thought he was like a blackjack like person.
He didn't have an accent. He wasn't a romancer. How can they do a disservice to Pepe Le Pew?
They didn't give him his weird body armor that looks like a candy.
Oh my god, he looks like a candy wrapper. Yo, why you gotta ruin it?
Yeah.
But yes.
It was bad. Oh, speaking of X-Men Origins, in the video game, they confirmed that will.i.am's character and Mystique gave birth to Nightcrawler.
Oh my god. All right. Why do I Will
That's not the same black guy.
I know it is.
Gotta get that boom boom pow.
I did it. You are correct.
You just lost like half of our subscribers.
I did. They're like, boo! She's a woman. She doesn't know anything.
That ain't real hip hop. It ain't Little Uzi or Little Nas.
Little Nazisha.
Nas X.
Oh my god.
Anyway, speaking of X, X-Men Origins Wolverine. This one's short, thankfully. Thank God. They screwed up X-Men Origins Wolverine, so I will tell you how the story really goes. Actually, they got it right up to the part when Wolverine gets his metal claws. Zoom
That's
in.
not much.
Or pan in onto the lab where Wolverine gets his claws. Dot, dot, dot. Stryker, are you sure this will work? Yes, if he survives the process, it will work. Logan was in a tank of water with only an air mask on. It was kind of embarrassing. I could
What?
see Stryker talking with some scientists, but he couldn't make out what they were saying, and he wasn't sure he wanted to. Back on the observation deck, they weren't very far from the tank. One of the many workers there came up to Stryker and said, "Sir, we are ready to process. Start the process. Just give us the orders." Stryker only nodded and the worker went away. When I'm done here, I'll kill you, Victor, thought Logan. Then there was a whir of machinery. Then the water he was in started to warm up and then boil. By this time, Logan was writhing with pain, but it was about to get worse. Crap, he thought to himself as tubes with needles on them came out the walls of the tank. He struggled against the metal that held him in the tank. Back on the deck. Sir, his heart rate is almost off the scale. Should we shut down? Stryker glared at his assistant. No, he'll be fine. But, sir, I said do not abort! Politics, am I right?
Oh.
Yeah, yes, sir. With that, the assistant went back to the control panel. Back with Logan. Logan wanted to scream, but if he did, he would lose his air mask and die. Although at this point, dying wouldn't be such a bad thing. But he had to avenge Kayla's death. To do that, he kind of had to be alive. The needles on the ends of the tube slowly dug deeper and deeper into the bone. It took almost 5 minutes to get all the way. But to Logan, it felt like 5 hours. That's when Logan passed out. Then, multicolored liquid poured into Logan's bones. Finally woke
Wait.
up.
What?
Multicolored liquid poured into Logan's bones.
Oh, okay. I thought you said something else. I was like, what?
What you thought I said?
No comment. Next.
For 2 hours after the procedure, he woke up in a white room. He sat up to see Stryker sitting in a chair at the opposite end of the room. I don't feel any different. Stryker rolled his eyes and said, Well, of course you don't, you big dummy. Wolverine growled and unsheathed his new and improved claws. What the hell, Stryker? They're giant red crayons! Razor sharp crayons. Crayons! And with that, Wolverine stabbed Stryker and ended him. The end. And then the rest of the movie went on normally.
Are you
And
serious?
Yes. And that, my dear children, is how that part of the movie really happened. Talk to you later.
Wow.
That's good stuff, man.
You had me at the edge of my seat, and I was just like, where is this going? Oh, that's a shame.
Let us remind the audience, we have not read these in advance.
No, we have not.
We pick them based on like titles.
Or the description, because sometimes the descriptions are a little sometimes they're a little bit more interesting
than the
than
actual story.
yes.
It's like a great idea on paper, but execution, not so much.
Oh.
What else we have? We have Allegiance.
Yes, this is the one where Mystique and Storm have a romantic relationship. I'm very confused. I'm very confused. This is from 2007, so
Whoa. This is from 2007. Jennifer Lawrence was not playing Mystique in 2007. I
I
don't know.
know.
I don't know if we should continue.
I'm so sorry. I don't know. Please don't yell at me.
Oh,
I just don't understand. You know, like we can imagine that it's Holly Berry and Jennifer Lawrence. That's like crossing cultures there. I don't know.
that's like reading my own fan fiction.
Hey.
Hey, all right. You want to do this one?
Well, let me just read the description first, okay? So this is called Allegiance, and it's Mystique and Storm. Mystique manipulates Storm while she is in mourning in order to form an alliance between them. Story takes place post X3. Pairing was assigned to me as a part of an LJ X-Men fanficathon.
Wow. Fan.
Yeah.
Oh.
It says ficathon. I've never ever heard that in my life.
Well, let's just dive into it. Let's go.
Oh my goodness. I'm always picking these long ones. So, okay, watching the clock as the minute hand ticked forward, clicking the hour to midnight. Raven Darkholm turned her attention back to the humans around her. She sighed as she leaned over the bar, dissatisfied in waiting. She clicked her black painted nails by the ashtray and contemplated lighting up another cigarette to pass the time so that she could feel her mortal life drained from her. It was a strange sensation, and one she had become morbidly fascinated with since she'd been shot and purged of her mutant identity. It was the only thing that reminded her that she was still alive since Eric had abandoned her to live her own expiring life as a human. Did this happen in the movies?
Off screen. Off screen.
Okay. Oh boy. Oh boy. The thought of Eric never left her mind, except instead of wanting to defend and fight alongside him, she wanted to assassinate him. Her new life was mediocre at best, and the obsession of killing him for what he had done to her was the only thing that motivated her day by day. But because she couldn't use her usual method of transformation and sneak attack, she had to bide her time and be more careful in locating him while meticulously planning her attack.
Wow.
Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry. I have gas.
I thought that was in the script.
Oh no, I don't know. That's embarrassing, but I'm gonna keep it in. Usually I don't care, but my tummy's kind of gassy. I'm just like, I want to keep reading this because it's just so serious.
Oh.
I gotta press on. I gotta press on. I gotta press on. It says, Raven lazily scanned the room and watched her clientele as they drank and laughed amongst one another. They were despicable creatures, and it made her sick to her stomach to be among them, let alone serving them. But she was convinced that this was all temporary. Her only hope in this pathetic world was now living in was that the cure would eventually wear off as she could establish herself as the new leader of the Brotherhood. Hey, Raven, a gruff man called out to her from the end of the bar, gripping the counter with her nail and swallowing the pang of disgust in her throat. Raven turned around to the regular and acknowledged him with a bitter glare. He shook the empty beer bottle by the neck, and she complied with his unspoken request by replacing it with a new bottle of the counter. Raven turned around to throw away the empty bottle. She stopped cold and held her breath at the sight of who was approaching the bar. It was Storm! And after a worrisome glance around, Raven realized that she was alone. She was so shocked to see her that the empty bottle slipped from her hands and it fell to the floor. She gasped and jumped back to avoid being cut by the flying shards of glass. As she bent over to clean up the mess she created, Raven nervously wondered if Storm had recognized her. Could she have known that she was Mystique beneath the pale skin and dark hair?
Gasp.
Excuse me, the soft-spoken woman said, addressing the bartender hesitantly. Can I get a drink? See, I should do Fox Kids Storm, but it would be, excuse me, can I get a drink?
I love that.
All right, fine. We're gonna roll with it. We're gonna go with Fox Kids Storm. What would you like? Raven asked, standing up from the floor, but keeping her distance. Whatever you have on tap is fine, Storm replied softly.
Very softly indeed.
Very softly. Black skirt hitched up to her thighs slightly when she leaned over the sink to fetch a clean glass. This was Raven, carefully pouring Storm a drink from the tap while watching her from the counter of her eye. The corner of her eye. Raven realized that she didn't have a clue who she was, and now that she thought about it, how could she have known? As far as Raven knew, only Wolverine was able to identify her in her many forms, but Storm didn't possess the heightened
Marina,
senses.
hold up. Who
I
the
called
hell?
her. I'm calling her Wolverine. It says Wolverine, but
Oh, Wolverine.
Wolverine. She could smell. Smells like Mystique, bub. Wow.
Right. I think this fanfic kind of sucks.
Yeah,
It's
I
not
mean,
really going anywhere.
basically, they're making love with their eyes right now. They're like, so
Skip forward and there's something good.
I wish I could. I don't even know. There's only 3 chapters here. So basically, they're giving each other glances, and Mystique thrived on others. Storm was unsuspected. It was almost sexy.
Yeah, I don't know what I don't know what the author was trying to say.
I don't know either. Next one, your turn.
All right, so you asked me if I had to pick a ship in the X-Men universe, which one would
Yes.
it be? And you drew out all these names, and the first thing that came to mind was Iceman and Pyro from the old school X-Men movies, because they were always, like fighting over Rogue.
Oh my gosh.
Were
Like,
doing it.
why?
They were covering up their true feelings for each other.
I like girls, right, bro? Yeah, bro. Yeah, yeah. Girls have like chests that pop out. Uh,
And their boobs, they feel like a bag of sand. Yeah.
yeah.
Yay. Oh, okay. This one looks kind of funny. All right. Going in. This one's called Freezing the Pyro.
Oh.
This is a follow up to Warming the Iceman. Don't you love it? Yeah. Oh. A disclaimer: I don't own X-Men. I didn't think you did. Bobby woke up to darkness. He turned over and looked at the alarm on his bedside table. The red digital numbers read 3 o'clock. Closing his eyes, he tried to remember what woke him at 3 in the morning. Then he felt heat radiating from the other side of the bed and the sweat soaking his t-shirt. Damn, why'd I fall in love with an oven? He shifted over to his boyfriend and nudged the other mutant. Come on, John, turn that down. And the brown-haired mutant groaned but didn't wake up. Johnny, I'm sweating over here. Can you please turn that down? Bobby gave John another nudge. When the other boy didn't wake up or react, Bobby got off the bed and turned off the light. Now that he could see better, he rounded the bed and shook the fire starter. John, wake up! And brown eyes fluttered open and closed until they adjusted to the light. What? John, you're making me sweat. Wait, you're sweating. Ew, I am? John said with a disgusted face. Bobby felt John's forehead and frowned. You're warm. Bobby, Your hands are cold. Of course I'm warm, John mumbled. No, Johnny, I meant warmer than usual. He reached over for a thermometer and shoved it in his boyfriend's mouth, waiting for the results. Now let me see. Your normal body temperature is 101.3. That would mean anything above that means you're sick.
Oh my
Um,
gosh. Oh,
we know who's the catcher in this relationship. John spit the thermometer back out and glared at Bobby. I'm completely fine. I'm not sick. It is 3 o'clock in the freaking morning, Bobby. Let me sleep. I have a danger room session in the morning. Bobby didn't answer. Instead, he took the thermometer and shoved it back to John's mouth. He had the other boy's mouth shut as he waited for the beeping to stop. When the thermometer finished beeping, Bobby took it back and examined the temperature, stated, "Zero, 104.6, Johnny. That's at least 3 digits higher than normal." The other mutants glared through the banklets as his boyfriend shoveled around the room. We're all out of medicine. The fire mutant sighed as he drew back his blanket and sat against the headboard. I thought you brought some last time we were out. We ran out, I guess. You know you get sick at least twice a month during the winter. Bobby pointed out as he checked every drawer in the room for Tylenol. Bobby, go back to sleep. Let me go back to sleep. We can get some from Dr. Gray in the morning, John said, waving his boyfriend back to bed. You could get worse during the night. It's 3 hours until I wake up for the danger room. Wow, this is such a this is like a cough syrup commercial.
it's domestic gay life. How
Real.
sweet. Oh my gosh. I feel like I'm at a I feel like I'm at an anime con and
And then
or keep going because this is I'm in. I'm in. Let's go.
oh man. Yeah, so they just continue to fight, and then the next scene they're talking to Jean Grey. Jean? Bobby nodded and flinched when the door was slammed into his face. What? A few moments later, Dr. Gray opened the door and asked, "What's his temperature?" That was almost a common experience for Bobby. John got sick during the winter so frequently that he was already the second time of the year that Bobby had to see Jean in the middle of the night. 104.6, Bobby replied. That's not too bad. The telekinesis pressed a packet of Tylenol in Bobby's hand and mumbled good
Oh.
night before slamming the door. I think they meant to say telekinetic.
Yeah, I don't know. I just okay.
When Bobby was walking back to his room, he heard the doctor's voice inside his head. Keep him hydrated and tell him we'd reschedule his danger room session if he's too sick. At least they're using their powers in this one.
I know, right? I'm like,
Excitement!
ugh.
Mutants are sick. Excitement around every corner. All right. So I guess the next morning, Bobby rounds the corner and see Logan by the kitchen counter. The little midget sick again? The wolf-like mutant asked, indicating the pack of Tylenol in Bobby's hand.
He's a
Yeah,
Wolverine, not a Wolf-arine.
it's his story. Let him finish. Yeah, and don't call him a midget. He's not that small. Whoa, he should know, right?
Oh, boo, 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 boo.
He's a short little mutant. I bet even the kitten can take him out. And besides, the kid's nothing without his lighter. Damn, shots fired. John can set you on fire if you're smoking, with just 99.9% of the time. And without anybody smoking, he's got no flame. I'll crush him. Bobby narrowed
Wow.
his eyes as his protective boyfriend streak arose. Then I'd have to cause another ice age for kitties like you. Whoa, that comeback. The older mutant chuckled to himself as he replied, Nah, don't worry about the midget. I've seen what he can do inside that danger room. Level 4, isn't he? Bobby felt a surge of pride go through him as he thought of his level 4 pyromaniac boyfriend. John may be smaller than the rest of us, but he's real powerful. The professor thinks that with practice, he might not even need a lighter anymore.
Oh my gosh.
If only he wasn't sick half the winter. Trust me, it's a lot worse for me than it is for him. Oh my goodness. Like, this is adorable.
It really is. It really is. At least you got a good one. I mean, it's like, oh my god, my boyfriend is so good. Thank you for that compliment, Wolverine. Oh my gosh. Like, as soon as you were saying a sense of pride.
It's beautiful. I'm skipping a little towards the front.
Yeah, do that. Because sometimes these things are a little convoluted.
Yeah. John was still too busy whining about the loss of his lighter to care. Bobby, there are a lot of things to do in the Institute. We have several movies that you probably haven't watched, Jean said reassuringly. She took my lighter, Bobby. My lighter! John yelled as he grabbed onto his boyfriend's t-shirt. My lighter! Johnny, we can't go on our date anymore. Don't you know how long we've been waiting for this chance to go out? My lighter, John wailed.
Oh my
Bobby,
god.
Bobby glared at his boyfriend before pushing the other mutant's hands off of him. Sometimes I really wonder what you love more, me or your lighter.
Wow. Sometimes I don't understand why you won't look me in the back of the head of my lighter.
Oh my god. Yeah, we'll stop there. It's like another paragraph of them like kissing and making up. He's like a
Nice.
sweatshirt, loads of kisses, and the best anniversary gift.
Wow. A new lighter. Ba-ba-ba-ba.
Okay, that was cute. Like you could tell, like there was at least some passion behind this one, I guess. Even though
Oh.
it's yeah.
Did you want to read any more?
We got one more open here.
Yeah, we do. I actually have to use a little Yoko's gotta go real quick. If you want to entertain the crowd while I BRB.
I guess I'll read the next one then.
All right, read the next one. I'll be right back. I promise.
What is this?
Hold on.
Okay, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen,
I'll be
what
back.
is this work could have? I proceed. I want the adult content. All right, quiet like a fire. Here we go. This is the summary, y'all. Charles has been in love with his best friend for years without realizing it. When he finally figures it out, Eric is married to a wonderful woman and he has an adorable daughter who thinks the world of Charles. Eric has the perfect life that Charles helped him build, so there's only one thing for it: to get over his feelings. So what if his methods are unhealthy, or if Eric has an opinion on that matter? Charles is determined to do the right thing. Oh boy. Charles and Eric sitting in a tree. I wonder how Charles got there. An old refrain from their playground days, captured in a sensory memory and numerous photos taken by Edie. Eric was always scowling and Charles was always beaming, their arms around each other like it was the most natural thing in the world. In a way, it was Eric's mother who had to work day in and day out. Charles' parents were never home, and the only thing separating their backyards was an old wooden fence with a loose board. It was a time when parents couldn't afford a babysitter, actually took care to explain their children not to stick their fingers in their sockets, and then left for work and prayed for the best. Wow. Oh, I'm skipping ahead. Did she know then? Charles wondered vaguely. He dismissed the thought almost at once. It was all so innocent then. No one could have suspected it would go out in flames. Even the kids singing Kissing at them on the school playground didn't actually mean it like that. They simply didn't like Eric's shabby clothes or took offense to Charles' grades. By the time neither Charles or Eric responded to the question, "Hey, where's your moody, geeky boyfriend?" with anything other than a shrug. They did everything together and liked it that way.
Everything together.
It was disastrous at first, but Charles was determined and eager. Edie didn't have a hard time to stop. Charles always had access to their home. She couldn't really do much about it, short of throwing the food away, which in the world is akin to the most gruesome of crimes. Eric raved, shouted, grumbled, and at one point stopped talking to Charles for a week. And Charles made the lucky discovery that Eric was precautiously helpless to resist the temptation to meet lasagna. And even if that was a bitch to cook from scratch, it was entirely worth it. Oh, putting him over with lasagna. Wow.
Ooh, it's
So,
just like that chicken tetrazzini episode on Murray.
chicken tetrazzini. I remember that. Oh man, this is really detailed, man. It's like goes through their young years.
Wow.
This
So, which one did you pick?
this is the one about Eric and Charles.
Charles, the ultimate love.
Oh, somebody's pregnant.
Is Charles pregnant? Charles is pregnant. He's the pregnant one.
All right, now it's looking good. I'll marry her. I don't mind. Charles couldn't help the way his eyebrows arched. You don't mind? Eric shrugged impatiently. Damn it, Charles. Stop it. I'm not a romantic like you. You know that. I don't believe in all that love nonsense. And she's nice. She's really nice. It's not that. It's what? Eric's expression twisted into a pained grimace. Can you imagine me as a father? Despite everything, Charles had to smile. I'm sure you'll be great, my friend. I have faith in you. You always say that, and I always mean it. This feels like an indie movie.
Oh my gosh. I mean,
Yeah, this is really like detailed. Like there's a wedding. there's a there's other stuff.
oh. I mean, you
I'm,
never know what you're going to get with these fanfics. Okay, we may be reading them and just poking fun at them, but I do appreciate people at least putting forth the effort to come up with something of their own and enjoying themselves, despite how silly and ridiculous some of them get.
what is this? I just came across like a paragraph. Logan worked security by day and tended the bar by night. None of which explained Charles meeting him at a faculty events. Of all the places, how within less than an hour he found himself pressed face first against the bathroom door, the sharp scent of disinfectant in his nose, and a blunt burning pressure in his ass. With
Excuse me?
This gets really dicey.
Excuse me?
Logan does something to him, roughly. And there's Charles' short fingernails scraping the paint off the creaky door. It wasn't slow.
Excuse me?
And it lasted torturously for close to 20 minutes, and his legs gave out by the end of it. Oh no, is this how Charles loses the feeling in his legs?
Excuse me?
No, Logan, no.
Is that what he said?
That's what I'm thinking.
Oh my goodness.
Holy crap.
Is he parking his Chrysler in a one-car garage?
He's drifting into the handicap parking spot.
Wow. My dude's drifting into the parking spot.
Oh no. And there's bruises on his hips, and now Eric is like, what's going on? What happened to you?
It's spice and meatball.
You know what's funny about all these X-Men fanfics? We don't see any from the most promoted like couple in the X-Men universe. Freaking Scott Summers and Jean Grey. Nobody cares.
Dude, it's true. Like, okay, look. I'm gonna Google it right now. Cyclops and Jean fan fiction. Okay, let's see. Ew, I get so much fan art. Like, oh, I love them. They're lovers forever. I mean, if you're husband and wife, that's great. I'm happy for you, but don't care. How many fanfics? 34 stories, for Jean Grey and Scott Summers. It's just Mrs. Jean Grey Summers.
Go ahead. Just read one of those and we'll wrap it up.
Oh my gosh. I can't even. I honestly don't want to at this point.
No, I'll be Scott and you be Gene. It'll be great.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
CC. How to bang an X-Man.
Wow. That is
Just
like a tutorial.
it is this on a boring Friday night at the mansion. Ex-women Jean, Jubilee, and Aurora try to answer the eternal question: what's a girl got to do to get laid around here? Set about 2 years after Apocalypse, this story follows the X-Men through the adventures of love, sex, dating, drive-ins, hangovers, robots, sex ed, saving all mutant kind, and maybe cooking a pizza.
Wow.
Focuses primarily on Aurora and Kurt, but all the couples get their time in the spotlight, and there's a lot of platonic palling.
Sounds great.
I think I'm done. That was enough drink.
You're tapping out.
Yep. Because now we're getting into Alpha and Omega fan fiction now. Do you know what Alpha and Omega fan fiction is?
Oh man. I don't know.
So basically, Alpha and Omega fan fiction is when they have wolf-like tendencies, but they're human. So a female can have their genitalia turn into male parts and vice versa. If you so if if you're an alpha, you can have male parts. If you're an omega, you can have female parts, interchangeable.
Wow, I learned so many things that I didn't need to learn today.
You're welcome.
Alright. Alright, I found the Jean Grey one. I'm just gonna like do it because it's Dark Phoenix is coming out. We need to do something Jean Grey related.
I don't.
They're,
I
like,
mean,
we're obligated.
but Jennifer Lawrence, I couldn't find a fan fiction with her in it that didn't involve Hungisha games.
Don't worry, we can just pretend that Jean in this fanfic is being played by the lovely, beautiful Jennifer Lawrence.
Okay. Oh. Okay. So then every part. All right. Cool.
All right. This is called Miss Perfect. Miss Perfect. How about Marvel Girl? I wrote it down with the other suggestions. Yeah, it's at least better than Evan's contribution, I said with a smirk as I glanced over at Evan. He got from the couch and never taking his eyes off the basketball spinning on his finger. Hey, man, I think girl who floats things with her mind would be a cool name. Yeah, almost as good as the Mind Crusher, Scott laughed as he crossed his legs and nodded his head towards Kurt. Kurt stopped stuffing popcorn in his mouth for a second to shoot Scott an indignant look. Hey, I'm gonna try to do the accent. Hey, I think that would be a kicking goal name. Kitty giggled and snatched some popcorn from the bowl. It like sounds like the name of a professional wrestler or something. Ja, that's because it is. Kurt says with a grin. I took it a look down at the very short list. I got one for you, said Rogue as she took a sip of her lemonade. I already knew what she was going to say, and I didn't want to hear it. She smirked at me. Sometimes I feel like she would like me more if I were a complete bitch to her. I know she hates me, and it drives me crazy because I don't understand what I did to her. How about Miss Perfect, y'all? She flashed a huge fake grin and set her glass down on the table.
Oh my gosh.
Everybody started laughing. Kitty giggled. She even snorted a few times. Something she only does when she thinks something is really funny. Kurt slapped the arm of his couch and yeah, that's a good one, Rogue. I think you got it. Wonderful. I just smiled and tried to ignore the queasy feeling building in my stomach. Rogue loves to push my buttons, and all I do in response is smile. Emma let the ball drop by his side and struck a pose. Beware, evildoers. I am Miss Perfect, and I have come to overshadow you with my superhuman skill to do anything and everything perfectly. Kitty snorted again and doubled over. Evan the big hand grinned widely and stuck his chest out further. Ah, come on, Daniels, said Scott as he gave a playful shove. Thank God he finally stepped in. I looked over at him and sighed. He knows how much I hate being labeled as perfect. You forgot about Miss Perfect's ability to balance a 4.3 grade point average, edit the school newspaper, captain the lacrosse team, and reign over the school as homecoming queen. F you, Scott! I heard my safe saying in a low,
Oh
threatening
my
voice.
gosh.
My
Are we
eyes wide.
reading an X-Men Evolution fanfic? Because that's what it sounds like.
Yeah, it is.
Oh my gosh. Hold on a second. Um, hold on. I'm gonna stop recording really quick. Hold on. Yeah, keep going.
Nobody's pooping here.
Oh my
Anyway.
I'll be back.
We had some gastral difficulties. Anyway, Kurt kept looking from me to Scott, and Evan stood in front of me, mouth hanging wide. To my surprise, it was Rogue who came to my defense. What's the matter, Porcupine? Ain't you ever heard that word before? Rogue was smiling again. I hate Rogue's laugh. Well, let me correct that. I hate the laugh she does when she laughs at somebody. She has two different kinds of laughs. I once caught her watching The Life of Brian. I was drawn to the sound of her laughter. It was loud and totally free. That's the best way I can describe it. I was amazed to find that it was Rogue laughing. The lights were off and the sound was turned down very low. I think she wanted to be alone. What are you watching? I made the mistake of asking. None of your business, she grumbled as she flipped the TV off past me. That's the only look she has for me, the smirk. Oh, the look on her face when she sees Scott and me together. She gets that wistful look on her face and she stares at me because she thinks I don't know she's doing it. I'm not stupid. I know what she wants. She doesn't want Scott. Some people may think that, but it's not true. Rogue wants the idea of Scott more than that. She wants me. She wants to be me. She thinks I'm perfect. She thinks I'm normal, and she hates me because that's what she wants me to be more than anything else in the world. She knows that it's something she could never have in her mind. She's already given up on the idea, but her heart still holds on to it. She even does things to amplify her identity as an outsider. I think it's the main reason she dresses the way she does. Because she figures she has to be a freak, she might as well go all out. This is something I've come up with my own. I actually heard her thinking this. It's hard to block sometimes. Part of me applauds that. It takes courage. Courage I've never seen myself having. Oh man. Will she turn into the Phoenix? Oh, I wanted to turn into the Phoenix. Oh man. I'm skipping ahead. Things are getting heavy. Open the door, Gene. I'm sick of this little princess bullshit, Rogue said in a low voice. I struggled against the thought, but in my own mind, Rogue just now solidified her place as the bad guy. I didn't want to open the door. Rogue, cut it out, Scott hissed. Things between Rogue and I had been building towards a head lately. People had begun to notice the tension between us. While recently, I thought we might have been getting over it. I could tell from the way she was acting that she certainly didn't hold the same opinion. Scott was the only one I confided in. So he knew how trapped and helpless I felt around her. More than that, he also knew that behind my passive exterior lurked an explosive temper. It was something that I had been working on a very long time. Meditations with Miss Monroe, martial arts with Wolverine, and training sessions with the professor had all helped it tone down. But I think Scott can sense that it was building up. This confrontation was inevitable, but nonetheless, he was always seeking to deter it. I won't cut it out. I'm sick of living under her double standards. I'm sick of the professor always holding her up some effing model for all of us to follow. I am not Jean, and I'll never be, thank the Lord Almighty. I flinched at the volume of her thought. She sent it directly at me. Professor had been teaching everybody to do that, send thoughts directly towards me. Act like a relay during combat situations, coordinating attacks, and linking people to each other in a loud, spread out confrontation. And spoken communication is vital, but very exhausting for me. My hand hovered near the doorknob for a moment. Did I really want to do this now? Was I ready for Rogue to be brutally honest with me? And believe me, she can be brutal. Open the effing door, Jean. I'll grab Scott and blast it down myself, she said directly towards me. Twisted the doorknob without giving a second thought. I didn't think she would actually do it, but the malice behind her thought brought out that part of me that I had long struggled to keep down. It was like a fire, with the life of its own surging from a place deep down inside. The raw power and hugeness of it made my stomach turn with memories of the nightmares I had as a little girl. I wake up screaming with visions of myself engulfed in flames. Something inside me taking over and pushing out every part of my body. Professor X had made them stop by going into my mind, setting up shields, but every once in a while I could feel it trying to escape. I gritted my teeth and held it in. I locked out the door till I find myself staring at the top of Rogue's head. Oh man, this is intense. See a fight. Get a fight. You're a mutant, Gene. You're a freak of nature. You're not human, and no matter how smart or pretty or talented you are, you will never be. She leaned up against my desk and folded her arms across her chest. My legs felt like jelly, sank slowly onto my bed. She
Oh my
said,
gosh.
cut to the very core of a struggle. I had been going through since my mutation at Xverse, but I had never asked myself that out loud, and nobody has ever said anything like that to me before. As if she could read my mind. Which part of me was a mutation? Which part of me was just Gene? I don't understand. I can't do this. I'm too emotional.
Wow. How was your fanfic adventure while I ran away for a moment?
Oh man, I learned a lot about myself. I learned that you know, no matter how great you are, you always have to embrace the bad parts of yourself as well. But
Are you okay?
being a mutant isn't bad. It can be a good part. You just have to embrace it and use it to your advantage, and be a good person. Hashtag Dark Phoenix in theaters June 7th.
Oh my god. All right, folks. Have a good night.
Good
Bye.
night, Jennifer Lawrence. Where's Peter?
Doo-doo.